Welcome back. Today we will start our fourth module, which is about JavaScript. JavaScript is a language used to make our HTML page dynamic. By dynamic, what I mean is you can interact with your HTML page. The HTML pages that we have created up to now are static HTML pages. So before going into the details, let's first see an example using JavaScript. So I am opening my text editor where you can type in your HTML code. So JavaScript is a code that you can write within HTML. So first we will create an HTML page and then we will include some JavaScript code into that HTML file. So let's start our HTML code. HTML/HTML is the closing tag, and the first tag inside HTML is the head tag, and within head we will have a title. We can have JavaScript Intro. Yes, let's save this file let's give a name JavaScript Intro.html. Then we can have the body tag, and within the body tag let's have a heading, say h1, and we will say welcome, and close this h1. So this is a simple HTML page with just one heading h1. So first let's see how this looks like in a browser. So we can open the file. So this is a simple HTML file with a heading welcome. We cannot do anything with this HTML file. We can just view this page. This is just static. Whatever is getting displayed, you can read it and you can watch it. Nothing else can be done beyond that. So if you click on this, nothing will happen. So we will make this page a little more interactive. So for that, first what I'll do is go to the code. Let's give a name or ID for each of the elements. Not each of the elements, for some of the elements on our HTML page. So first I will give an ID for this heading 1 tag, that is h1 tag, and the ID we can give some name as ID. Let's say greet as the ID, and even if I give some ID, there won't be any changes here because ID will not be visible anywhere. But I will do one more thing here. There is an attribute called onClick. As the name indicates, onClick means when you click on this heading, that is the welcome heading, what should happen? So onClick is equal to, we have to write some code here, and that code is written using a language called JavaScript. So the JavaScript can be written like this. OnClick is equal to, within double quotation you'll have to write the JavaScript code. There are other methods to write JavaScript code, but since this is the first lesson on JavaScript, we will use a very simple code, JavaScript code, to explain what is JavaScript. So we will write onClick is equal to, what we have to do, we can put an alert. Alert in JavaScript means a message box will pop up and you have to write within parentheses what should be the message inside the alert box. So let's put a message like welcome to JavaScript. So notice the syntax here, double quotation for onClick is equal to, that means the value is written within double quotation, and within double quotation we will write a JavaScript statement, and that is alert welcome to JavaScript, and you have to put a semicolon at the end of the statement. Okay, so this will make your HTML page more dynamic. Let's see how. So I'm saving this file. Go back to the browser, refresh. Now if I click on welcome, you can see a message box popping up and says welcome to JavaScript. So this is the alert box. Okay, so if I close and change welcome to say JS JavaScript, save the file, go back to the browser, refresh, and I click on this one, it becomes welcome to JS. So now there is some action on the page. You can click on this welcome and something happens. So this can be done using JavaScript. So what we have written now? We have written HTML file, and within that HTML file we have included one JavaScript line, that is this one, and this JavaScript pops up a message saying welcome to JS, and it is done using the alert function in JavaScript. Okay, and you can include a JavaScript code as an attribute value for the on-click attribute for any tag. In this example we have used the tag attribute for the h1 tag. You can use it for any other tags. So this is one simple example using JavaScript. Let's create some more action into this HTML page. So for that, what I'll do is I'll create a paragraph tag here and close it so that nothing is there within the paragraph. And I'm giving an ID for this paragraph, say welcome. So now there are two elements in our body, and the first element is the h1 tag with ID greet, and the second element is the p tag with ID welcome. So what I want to do is, when I click on this welcome, I want to display a message within the paragraph. So you can do that also with JavaScript. So instead of this alert message, you can remove this line here and say I'll write the JavaScript statement. You just read it, probably you will get what is meant by that. So it says document means this document, this HTML document, and then get element by ID. So it is asking the document to get the element by ID. What is the ID you want? The ID is welcome. Okay, so you're asking the document to get the element in this document with ID welcome. So that means this paragraph, and put a dot and say inner HTML. Inner HTML stands for what should be there inside this HTML. And I'm asking it to put welcome to JS. Okay, so once again you closely look here. On click, what should happen on click? Document get element by ID welcome, get the element with the ID welcome. So get this paragraph and make the inner HTML of that element. Inner HTML means whatever is coming between p and /p. Make the inner HTML as welcome to JS. This should be a single quotation mark because we are using a double quotation mark around the value for the on-click attribute. So save this file, back to the browser, refresh, click on but now you can see welcome to JS is coming, and I click on welcome. So if I refresh, now nothing is there. I'm clicking on this welcome. You can see welcome to JS coming below the heading, which is our paragraph written here. Initially this is blank, but we are putting some value there when you click on the heading welcome. So with this example we will conclude the session here. So this is a simple example showing how you can use JavaScript to make your HTML page more dynamic. Okay, so we will continue with more examples and more features of JavaScript in the coming session. Thank you.